fine.
Oh, yay.
So close.
Sorry.
I'm just gonna make it off sync on purpose.
Hold on. Let's get a good high five, Matt. Let's get a good high. Oh, that was good.
That work for sync?
That
You know what's gonna happen? We're just gonna get this like old like kung fu movies, like while mouths moving and then everything else is different.
What's up, guys? We're back in the same clothes. We didn't even go anywhere. We've been here the whole week. Matt, how was your week been? Just sitting in that chair all day for all week.
I think I've grown into my jeans. Like I don't think they can be separated from my body anymore.
Ew, gross.
It's like like that guy who sat on his couch for so long that his like skin became one with the fabric.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds disgusting.
You didn't know about that? No.
You guys smell really awesome too. Good
had
thing you have Milspeed media spray.
That's twice.
Keep you fresh and clean.
Castro, you owe me a bottle. Welcome to the That's Round Table. You guys are familiar with the format. You submit questions in previous videos. Those get collected and thrown into the helm of reasoning. Leah has very graciously agreed to be on Not So Round Table this week, so thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm
been
happy
too
to
long.
be here. I know.
It's been too long.
It took a while. We were waiting for Chris to put new questions in and to format the card. It's all Chris's fault. We had some good discussion. We got on this topic of the word Milspeed.
Yeah.
So please elaborate, what is Milspeed and how is it changing Airsoft?
From what I understand, so I didn't even realize that it was a thing that people were trying to do. Someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing Milspeed?" And I was like, "As far as I know, I have been doing it for like a few years now." And it's essentially just wearing a paintball mask with your tactical loadout. And a lot of times you don't wear all of the crap that you always wear at a Milsim game, but you're looking tactical and still wearing a paintball mask. I did it for Codename Thunder in Chicago a couple weekends ago, and it was just a plate carrier, and I had a go bag on me that I carried my tank in and it's really comfortable. That's why I like doing it, because you have the pockets for the stuff you need, and then you don't fog, and you're just super comfortable, and that's kind of how I play.
I was going to say, isn't that like what we do for like 90% of the node shoots?
Yeah, pretty much.
So really, Milspeed is just giving a name to pickup game attire.
Yeah, stuff that we already wear.
Yeah.
So what would be your ideal Milspeed loadout, Matt?
I mean, I literally wear my vest every time I play.
So
I see no reason not to wear that vest.
So you just wear your Dye I4 and you're good?
I'd throw a Dye I4 on with my already optimized vest, and I'm good to go.
I would do the exact same loadout.
I do that also, a vest, and I have started wearing the Empire EVS mask.
How's that?
Oh man, I actually like it more than my Dye. It's really comfortable because your field of vision is better, and you know how you can kind of get a fisheye lens with the Dye? You don't get that with the EVS. And I was like, wow. And it makes you look like a Power Ranger.
Life goals. So then it's Power Milspeed.
Power Speed Milspeed.
Just wait until people start doing like Power Rangers power up moves, and then
challenge for the next event where a lot of us go to together. Let's all our impressionist kit will be a Milspeed loadout, just to get the triggers going.
I've been doing it.
Yes, I know. But Leah, you inspired everybody, so then let's all do it. Jet will do it. Miguel will do it. Matt will do it. We'll all.
Oh man,
Ryan already is doing it.
Dude, I'm down to wear cries with the Dye I4.
Like it's so comfortable. Yeah. We should do it.
Yeah.
Tim wears his cries.
All right, let's
all
start
then
doing
actually,
it.
I would say that Tim maybe even started the Milspeed trend.
Yeah.
This is Tim. Tim can't be told that he needs to do something a certain way.
Yeah, no, he's already doing it.
Yeah.
He's already here. He's done this for years.
Yeah, much more relevant than me.
No.
I mean, he is because he's been in the industry longer, and now he's like working for a I
don't see him with like 1 million subs or 250,000 subs. So I'm saying. What's up, Tim? What's up, bro?
Hey, Tim. Oh, it's awkward. Can I pull a question?
Yeah, that's usually what we do, is we wait for the conversation to get super awkward, and then somebody goes, oh, it's time to pick a question. Let's break the ice.
From Jay Culp. Dear insert and possible guest, I was wondering if any of you can recall a specific action that you regret in Airsoft, not calling a hit, yelling at another player, etc. Thanks so much. Listening to the show makes my day. Aww.
Oh, makes your day. That's sweet.
I've definitely had moments where I've gotten really frustrated.
I've witnessed these moments.
And just been like, what the? And then later I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have had a meltdown. And so now, when I get to the point where I feel like I'm going to have a meltdown, I'm just like, okay, I'm just walking off the field now.
That's a good mindset.
Because I'm just getting really frustrated, and I don't want to have a meltdown on the field. So I'm going to walk off so that way I don't, like, yell at someone and little kids over here and they're like, oh, she's such a disappointment.
Wow. I think you could pass some advice on to some people too.
What's my frame?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody kind of has moments where they get frustrated during play. I think it's just because the very nature of Airsoft, it's high adrenaline, right? So people's passions are definitely out, and adrenaline is high, emotions are high. I've lost my cool a couple times. As a representative of a company that hosts games and sponsors games, it's always in our best interest to make sure that everybody's having a good time and not just the few are having a good time. And so when people break the rules, that's very frustrating to me. And so I've lost my cool before calling somebody out on not following the rules when I should have just let the ref do it. But, it's one of those things where it's like, listen, the other people have paid to be here and you're ruining it for them. And that sucks. And people don't seem to get that. People don't seem to understand that they've done something wrong. And so that's frustrating, just being who we are and what we do for Evike. So
yeah, it's a very tough situation you've been working for this company for a long time, like 6 years, almost a little bit.
Almost 8.
Wow.
It hasn't been that long.
2010.
So 7 years, almost 8, yeah. So, the thing is, it's people got to understand, like, for us, like, when we go out and play, sometimes we have to curve our own fun for everybody else. And if you think about it, there's really no other player that's playing at that time who's curbing their own fun for anybody else. If you're a paying participant, I highly doubt that you're sacrificing some of your fun for somebody else. I highly doubt it. And a lot of us have to do that. And sometimes I think it's maybe a little underappreciated. Some of the things that Matt goes through in terms of everybody goes, but like there's people out there who will sacrifice they'll do leadership so somebody doesn't, and they may sacrifice their own fun so you could have more fun. So I've definitely gotten frustrated. I think the same with Matt, with certain things, but
and then people still talk bad about us.
Look at I'm referencing like that clip that you were that clip that I guess you were just talking to somebody who was disobeying the rules at an HSP event. Yeah. Like, it's not that you were against what happened. You're just it's against the rules. Like, this is why. Like, you're trying to... And apparently that's bad. Like, apparently you can't take a hit. Apparently. I've never known Matt to not take a hit. I've seen Matt get hit with, Didn't you get hit with, a battery or something once out of an M203 or something like that?
I don't think I've ever seen Matt lose his cool, really. I've seen you be frustrated, but I've never seen you lose your cool, being you've never obviously done that.
No, Matt doesn't really lose his cool that way. You'll know Matt's frustrated when he'll just not talk. He'll just be like...
I've lost my cool a couple times.
Yes, but not since you started working for being a big representative of the company.
Very professional.
He's taken that professionalism to a new level. I
lost my cool a couple times. I just try my best to do it
hold
out
on.
of the way from people.
Let's actually... He's gotten lost his cool, but no one knows about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not on a video or anything like that.
Yep.
The secret Matt tapes.
The secret Matt tapes. That's why. See, I had this sneaking suspicion because Matt was always really hard to get to run his GoPro. I always had the suspicion that Matt secretly didn't run it because during all that time he was cheating and yelling at people.
Oh, they've got me. No. Their suspicions are warranted.
Head Sifter is, can I challenge Matt to a quick draw duel with an Elite Force smoke wagons?
Yes.
Oh, man.
As a side note, does fan firing work on those?
No. They're single action.
Yeah.
They're based off of Colt single action armies. So they're hammer, trigger, hammer, trigger. You can't fan them.
If you guys want to do a Wild West game, we could do something. I think it'd be cool to do a private game at like HSP at that one little field that's kind of like, that would be fun. And you just get like, you do a private game with 20 people, 30 people, and everybody's got, you can make it really fun role playing.
And I just got my 6mm Schofield #3's break action revolvers, so I'm ready to go.
Oh man!
Yeah. And then there'll be that kid who shows up in their Power Ranger outfit and ruins our Milspeed.
Please
we
do that.
Shootout.
I want to do a Wild West. That's so fun. They're so fun.
I got my poncho and my sombrero. Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's nothing.
Who's pulling next? Who's it?
I pull.
It's your turn.
Ryan Kurtz asks, "Hey, Insert, do you like memes?" This episode is actually sponsored by Jag, and we will be giving away a scattergun to one lucky winner. Make sure you tune in to our Facebook on Friday for that giveaway.
I hope I win.
I'm sorry we
we'll make sure that you like this video and make sure you watch this watch this video, and then maybe you'll be randomly selected and make sure you enter the contest.
That is crazy. How did we...
I'm going to like it a bunch.
Should I upgrade anything internally or externally on it? Thanks. Hello from Wisconsin.
No, just pull it out and shoot people with it.
One of the draws for the Jag Arms scattergun over the Marui version on which it's based is that a lot of the failure points on the Marui have been reinforced on the Jag Arms, making them a lot more robust. So in terms of upgrades, there aren't a whole lot to be performed other than a general maintenance. If something goes down, parts are relatively easy to get. Something you may look at doing is a traditional gas mod that a lot of guys do and change out the valves for higher flow. I don't know that there's any reason to do that on a scattergun. We haven't actually tested it ourselves, but that's definitely an option.
You got to channel your inner Milspeed, and you'll turn it to you're going to HPA tap it.
Well, that's one of the greatest things about the Marui system for that shotgun is because it has an external gas reservoir. You can HPA tap them very, very easily.
That's cool.
You can use the CQB Russian taps and literally run an airline to your stock in 10 minutes.
There you go. Perfect.
So that's an option for you.
Channel your inner Milspeed.
Other than that, go to town on accessories. They've got an option. They've got a model that has rail space on top, so you got a ton of accessories you can mount.
George just learned the term Milspeed today. Can you tell?
I heard Lauren use it once before. I just didn't really grasp the whole concept. But now that we talked about it, I'm really hyped about it. Sorry, it is your turn.
There's an Instagram account called Milspeed.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
I follow them.
That's the one they sent me. Someone sent me that, and they were like, "Hey, have you ever thought about doing Milspeed?" And I was like, "But I actually thought Lauren coined that term because he said it on a loadout that I did 2 years ago or something."
I think since he did that, we should coin the phrase, trademark it, and we're all witnesses that Lauren came up with it. So we'll have to get that Instagram account taken down. I'm just kidding.
Alex Lee, this is a question for George.
Oh.
Sorry, Matt and anyone else.
George
only.
I'm important today. For the first time ever.
Good thing you're here.
You mentioned that you lived in Seattle on an insert once. How did you play Airsoft here? From my experience, there are very few fields, and laws regarding Airsoft guns are rather harsh.
I was in Seattle for a summer living with my uncle, and that was when I was in high school before I even touched an Airsoft gun, so I have no frame of reference.
I have heard that that the community in Seattle is it's hard to find a place to play. The only place that I know of is the Tags Airsoft Field. It's TAAGS. And they host games I think once a month.
Oh wow.
But they have around 200 players at those games, but that's just once a month, and it's kind of a more localized thing. That's the only thing that I know of other than Airsoft C3.
I think so, too. I have a friend who lives out in Spokane. I could ask him, but I think it was the same field that he was referring to. So,
I've heard it's a cool field.
Pacific Northwest needs some more love. Make some fields. It's got great terrain.
It needs a more active player base, really.
Yeah, I'd say that.
People that are there need to start being more active and proactive in your community. You can't count on everyone else to do it for you.
Yeah, some of the best Airsoft communities have been created literally from somebody bringing a passionate business mindset and creating it themselves. I would say that High Ground's done a very good job of that. Buffalo Battlegrounds, all these places made their, Tax City has a great fan base that they built their own community base. It takes a while.
It's all most everyone that's in Airsoft that has a business in Airsoft started it because they saw something that was missing, and they were like, "Oh, I know how to fill this. Let's just do it." And
Execution.
And most were players themselves before they started. Yeah.
Execution's
Almost
everything.
all.
No, that's a really good question. Sorry I couldn't be more help, though. I was like 14 or something. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. That was over half my life ago. Or more than half my life, sorry.
It's like 50 years ago.
Yeah. I'm not that old. Jeez.
You probably feel that old now that you.
Oh,
don't
I
get
feel
sleep
really old
ever.
right now. Like this is like my fourth thing of tea or Red Bull today. I'm dying.
Twins, man. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. Brock Friesen asks, "Dear Insert, is it possible to change the short length outer barrel to a longer outer barrel in a SCAR?" I'm looking at you because I don't know anything about SCARs, and you have a SCAR. And you worked for a company that has SCAR.
An inner barrel into an outer barrel?
No, it's a short length outer barrel to a longer outer barrel.
Just add an extension.
Yeah, you could add an extension. I mean,
the SCAR doesn't use anything in front of that front block. The only difference is the extension tube. So you can just get a 3 or 6 inch extension and thread it on. Just undo your flash hider, put the barrel extension on, you're done.
I do recommend Loctiting it with blue Loctite, and then that way it doesn't back out.
Guns too.
Yeah. I know the VFC
long,
one I have
the
came
VFC,
with an
the
extension.
long one is just the extension, like Loctited in place. It's part of the barrel, but you never know because it's so solid.
Word.
Word.
Same.
One question left, Matt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Kristen.
Would
really.
you do
Oh,
the
it's a
honor?
long.
and
It's
finish?
a long.
He looked at it and then handed it to
Oh,
you.
look, it's Yankees fan. I'm a Yankees fan. How great. 898 Yankees fan. What's up? Hey, Insert. I was wanting to do a JPC loadout, but it always seems to start slouching in the back whenever I feel my hydration pouch, causing the front to raise around my neck, which is very uncomfortable. I'm already pulling the straps pretty tight around my body, but it still seems to slouch. Is there a good way to load one out or a good adjustment to make to help prevent this?
A good question would be: are you running dummy sappy plates inside the vest? If you're not, that probably is why. Because it's designed to look be used a certain way. With plate carriers, there's this common misconception that it's a vest. It's not something you just put on and then put pouches on and then you just wear it and it works. You have to put that's why the dummy plates exist, is to provide the rigidity that it's used to having without the weight of a real sappy plate, but it provides that rigidity, so that's how it works. That's how it's designed.
In addition, the traditional weight of a real sappy plate is going to keep the vest balanced. The problem that you're having with the off balance having weight in a hydro carrier is not a unique problem. That's a problem everybody that has ever run a hydro carrier integrated into a plate carrier has dealt with. Your back end will always sag. I've seen people get away with weighting down their front plate more, putting sand in it, things like that. But that's just weight you're going to have to deal with, or going with metal mid caps or metal magazines to help balance out that weight a little bit.
There is ways you can balance it, but that's if you're running sappies and you're having that problem. That is absolutely a common problem.
I have that problem a lot, and how I got around it was I don't wear a pouch on the back of the plate carrier. I wear a backpack or something else because I don't like being choked by my plate carrier. It sucks, and it's gonna ride up because water is pretty heavy, and so it's just really annoying to me, and I don't like being able to I don't like not having access to the pouch. I've tried to run a mini map on my back, and I don't like it. I would rather wear a backpack or a go bag.
So then, do you just run on the back of your plate carrier, just slick, and then put a backpack on? Mm-hmm. And it's easy to put on and take off?
Mm-hmm. I like the last thing that I wore was just a go bag that I could sling from side to side on my back, and then I had my tank and my water and my hydration in there, and so then it moved with my body, and I didn't have to worry about getting choked out. Like, the only reason that I wear a plate carrier, honestly, is so I have place to carry mags, but also so I don't get shot in the back and it hurts a lot.
That makes sense. Question is, so Matt, I remember you used to have this problem a lot. My question is, if when you went to a smaller pack on the back as well as a smaller hydration carrier, meaning you're using like a 2 liter or 1.5 liter, did that problem not exist anymore?
It got better when I went with a smaller pack, but I also reoriented the straps and the setup of how I'm attaching the vest. So you remember I really had the vest tightened up So when I put it on, it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
So with the dummy plate carriers, I don't leave myself a lot of room for the vest to be sliding around. And that went a long way to eliminate the back drop. And just reorienting the shoulder pads. I went with some First Spear shoulder pads.
Very nice shoulder
and
pads.
those have a C-shaped design, so it kind of wraps around the neck. So your neck is kind of a stop for the vest, so it won't slide any further or back based on the location of your neck and the strap layout. So I haven't dealt with that problem for a while, but
That's smart.
But the argument for wearing an external backpack is a strong one. I know Jet does it. I know you do it. I've seen a lot of the guys who use just chest rigs, not even plate carriers, who are running that as a way to have hydro and air and being able to access it very quickly.
Yeah, it's actually really smart, and it's actually, in terms of practicality, probably makes the most sense.
It's just way more comfortable to me.
Yeah.
And you can always access it, because
Yeah.
if I stopped wearing one when I got into, like, I was in a situation, I had, like, dummy grenades and stuff on my back plate, and I was like, oh, I'm by myself, and now I can't reach any of this stuff. FML. And so I've just switched to doing a backpack or a go bag. Anything that's much easier to carry.
Smart. Well,
to bookend our conversation from the beginning, we were talking about Milspeed. I think we all kind of agree that that's something that already exists, right?
Right.
So, with that said, if we're going to put a name on it, because everything always has to have a classification, right? So
classification for people to debate.
Absolutely.
Good topic.
But is that then the future of Airsoft?
I don't think so.
Do you think we're going to start to see less people take Milsim so seriously and CQB more seriously? Or do you think that it's just going to be a third segment of an already polarized Airsoft hobby?
I think it's going to be a smaller third segment into an already polarized hobby, because I just cannot see the SpeedQB trend or that and the Milsim trend. I just can't see them coexisting in that way.
I think it's actually a good thing, though.
I think so too. No, I didn't say it was bad.
Yeah. Just because that brings a lot more diversity. Within any hobby, you see different brands of or different things that people like. So, like, with cycling, you have, like, mountain biking.
Yeah.
You have people that like to road cycle. You like have... And all of those people, that's always, like, a point of contention, too. Like, oh, I only do dirt track. I only do single track. Or I only do whatever. I don't do the road stuff. Like... We have airsofters that are like that. I only do Milsims, or I only speak QB. It's the best ever. Like, I think it's good because it'll in turn bring a lot of innovation into Airsoft too. Because that's what all of these new things force is innovation, essentially, and a new way to play the game.
In previous loadouts, I mean, it happened in the gun industry. So, or in terms of real firearm training and stuff like that, and it eventually progressed to be standard. That's why everybody has a C-clamp on their gun now.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Nuts Around Table. Make sure you check out our Facebook on Friday for the Jag Scattergun giveaway. Make sure you tune in to all of Unicorn Leah's social media. She's super active on Facebook and YouTube, as well as starting to do Twitch as well.
Soon, yes.
Soon.
Twitch. More Twitch soon. Yay. And
Maybe.
Instagram.
Maybe you'll get to
I'm pretty
run
active
into
Her
on
live content's pretty cool. Like, some of my live content on her channel is pretty funny.
I do a lot of live content on my YouTube channel.
So.
And soon on Twitch.
See you guys later.
See you
Bye.
guys.
So, you know what?